For energy has stretched across oil fields, refineries and some of the world's busiest shipping routes. But now the country is preparing to look deeper, beneath the waves. Let's dive into it. Hello and welcome to another episode of Deep Dive brought to you by NewsX. My name is Vineet Malhotra, and hidden below India's vast maritime expanse could lie significant untapped reserves of oil and natural gas. Unlocking that potential is now at the heart of Samudra Manthan, the national offshore exploration scheme, one of India's biggest and most ambitious pushes to strengthen its long-term energy security. Approved by the Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Modi, the scheme comes with an investment of 84,000 crores and will be implemented until financial year 2030-31. The mission aims to accelerate offshore exploration through advanced technology, scientific research, deep water drilling and the creation of modern energy infrastructure. At its core, Samudra Manthan is about giving India greater control over its energy future. As India's economy continues to expand and energy demand rises, the country is looking to strengthen domestic production and reduce its long-term dependence on imported oil and gas. The mission seeks to transform India's vast offshore geography into a new source of strategic strength, supporting the broader vision of Viksit Bharat and energy self-reliance. The name itself carries powerful symbolism. In Indian tradition, Samudra Manthan refers to the churning of the ocean to uncover hidden treasures. Today, India is applying that idea to the modern energy challenge, using science, technology and large-scale investment to explore the resources that may lie beneath the seabed. The scheme will focus on offshore exploration across India's maritime regions, particularly in deep water and ultra-deep water areas. These are among the most technically challenging environments for oil and gas exploration, but they are also believed to hold a substantial untapped hydrocarbon potential. The mission will begin with one of the most important stages of exploration, understanding what lies beneath the seabed. Large-scale seismic surveys will be carried out to generate detailed images of underground geological formations. Advanced seismic technology will help scientists and energy companies identify areas that may contain oil and gas reserves, reduce uncertainty and improve the chances of successful exploration. The program will also support the exploratory drilling in frontier offshore basins. These are regions where geological information remains limited and where scientific drilling can provide crucial data about the structure and energy and potential of the seabed. In simple terms, Samudra Manthan is not just about drilling more wells, it's about building a complete scientific and technological system, from collecting data and identifying promising locations to drilling, producing and transporting hydrocarbons. Another major focus will be the development of common offshore production and evacuation infrastructure. Once oil or gas is discovered, it must be safely extracted, processed and transported to the mainland. Shared infrastructure can help make offshore projects more efficient, reduce costs and support faster development. The mission also places strong emphasis on technology and capacity building, digital program management, advanced exploration tools, stronger institutional capabilities, stakeholder participation and international collaboration are expected to form key parts of the initiative. This could help India build greater expertise in complex offshore operations while bringing global technology and investment into the country's energy ecosystem. India has already been strengthening its data-driven exploration framework and engaging domestic as well as international energy players to expand activity in offshore and frontier regions. Samudra Manthan is also expected to give a major boost to Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. The proposed oil and gas industry production and services zone could support the domestic manufacturing of offshore equipment, engineering services and specialized technologies. This would help strengthen Indian supply chains and create opportunities for domestic companies in a sector that has traditionally depended heavily on advanced global capabilities. The benefits could extend far beyond oil and gas production. The expansion of offshore exploration is expected to generate employment across engineering, geology, geophysics, drilling, marine operations, logistics, manufacturing, technology and support services. It could also attract fresh investment and create new opportunities for businesses involved in offshore infrastructure and energy services. The government expects the initiative to support the addition of more than 600 million metric tons of oil equivalent, potentially expanding India's domestic hydrocarbon resource base. Greater domestic production could help India reduce its exposure to global supply disruptions and volatile international energy markets over the long term. It could also support foreign exchange savings and strengthen the country's economic resilience. At a time when energy security has become closely linked to national security and economic stability, Samudra Manthan represents a long-term strategic investment. The mission does not mean India is moving away from clean energy. Instead, it reflects a broader approach, expanding renewable energy while also strengthening access to reliable domestic oil and gas resources needed to power a growing economy. Samudra Manthan, therefore, is more than an offshore exploration program. It is an investment in India's energy security, technological capability, industrial growth and economic future. With 84,000 crore rupees committed to unlocking the country's offshore potential, India is preparing to turn its vast maritime geography into a new pillar of national development. As the country moves towards the vision of Viksit Bharat, the next chapter of India's energy journey may not be written on land, it may be written beneath the sea. Joining us at this point in time is Commodore Debesh Lahiri, Advisor, National Center of Excellence in Green Ports and Shipping. Sir, appreciate you joining us. First question, do you think India has great potential in offshore energy exploration, sir?
Well, good evening. First of all, thank you for getting me on the show. Secondly, to answer that question is the very reason why government has gone ahead and, kind of put in about close to 84,000 crores for about a 5-year period right up to 2031. And the whole idea is to go in for deep sea exploration because, as you would be aware, our domestic production has fallen from about, say, close to 36 or 37 metric million tons in 2014-15 to about close to 29 or 28.7 metric million tons in the current, in 2025-26. So there is a dire need, and our imports have gone up on the other hand, because obviously as we continue to develop and as we aspire to go towards Viksit Bharat by 2047, our energy needs are only going to increase. And presently, if you look at a 10-year span, from about close to 189 metric million tons in 2015 to it has gone to about 245 metric million tons in 2025-26. So as you can see, we are, our imports are going up. We are right now the third largest consumer and importer of crude oil and natural gas. And our domestic production has gone down. And therefore, I think there's a dire need for us to step up our exploratory activities, tap the potential that is there in the seas. And this is a very laudable step which the government has taken to invest such a large amount. And hopefully it will bear fruits.
So how will Mission Samudra Manthan help in expediting this exploration aspiration?
As you are aware, there are about 172 blocks which were, put out for auction. Some in the close to about 4 lakh square kilometer zone, and it has not really yielded those kind of results. We need to go deeper. We probably need to go a little further away from our shoreline. So it brings with it certain technical issues and technological issues which needs to be addressed. And therefore, there is a need to map the seismic data, see how deep can we go insofar as drilling is concerned. And once we have kind of done the sourcing of the oil, how do we evacuate or how do we get it on land finally? So there is a tremendous amount of work that is had to be done both at the exploratory stage and thereafter, once the exploration is successful, then to get into the production phase. And for both, large sums of money are required. And a good thing that has happened in this policy is that a lot of common infrastructure is being talked about. And therefore, it will probably bring down the costs for each individual entity because there are a lot of common infrastructure that can be used. So this is very much in line with what needs to be done. And as I said earlier, this is what should bear fruit.
So do you think this can help reduce our energy imports, and what's the right way to become energy independent is the big question, sir?
Well, that's a very complex question. But to put it, in simple terms, there are two aspects of energy that we need to look at. One is energy security, that is the availability of the resource. Second is the security of transporting that energy. So you could look at it as security of energy. Now, if you look at the current geopolitical crises that is playing out in different parts of the world, right from, I would say, once the special military operations in Ukraine began on the 26th of Feb 2022, there have been many inputs that have gone in. One is several governments have put out sanctions against certain oil being imported and natural gas being imported. So what this policy does is it not only signals the intent and the commitment of the government, it is actually driven by our well-established theme of Atmanirbharta, which has been on for several years now. And I would only say that it has been triggered by these geopolitical crises in the different parts of the world, and perhaps reinforced by the chaotic and unpredictable pronouncements of certain governments. But if you look at the energy basket itself, right from coal to oil and natural gas to renewables to nuclear, I would say that in renewables we are very comfortably placed, and we are kind of striding ahead in a well-defined manner. Nuclear, we have established a very proven civil nuclear power technology, and we are going to ramp it up from the present 8.8 gigawatt capacity that we have. We plan to go up to 100 gigawatts. In the renewable sector, as you are aware, we have already crossed the 250 mark, and we will be ramping it up more. Coal and oil and natural gas remains our areas where we are largely import dependent, especially in oil and natural gas. Today's oil dependency is almost close to 87 to 88%. Natural gas about 50 to 55%. And if you look at our major sources, they are either coming through the Bab el Mandab Strait or the Strait of Hormuz. And as any student of present geopolitical crisis would be aware, both these routes are fraught with all kinds of problems, and the solutions don't seem to be coming easily and in the foreseeable future. So this instability in this part of the world is going to continue. So for India to attend to its own energy requirements, I think it's imperative that we develop our own energy sources. And offshore is one area which needs to be tapped in a very big way, because there is tremendous amount of potential. And that is what this policy aims to do. So I think in the years to come, we will be better off. When you look at the entire energy basket, we will be better off. And we would be improving our present status. Hopefully, we will reduce our import dependency in terms of our energy resources in the years to come. I think that is what this policy aims to achieve. And the way it has been structured and the way our developments are happening in different sectors, I can well foresee that we would be better off in the years to come.
So appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for being here. We take a short break. More on the other side.